Can I taste your juice?
Hey folks, PBusardo, what's up? So I figured after that like ridiculously long marathon of a Samovar review, I'm going to take it easy on you guys tonight. We're going to take a quick look at this, the Coolfire 1 from Innokin. A lot of Innokin stuff in this video because at the end of this video, we are going to find out who the lucky lady is who won the new MVP Shine, and we're going to do yet another contest at the end of this video as well. Okay. So the Coolfire 1, relatively new. They're not that new by the time I get around to them, but relatively new. And as far as I know, this right here is the only non-adjustable wattage regulated device out there. What do I mean by that? Well, most of your non-adjustable electronic cigarettes like Egos and Kagos and things like that, not twists, right? These are voltage regulated devices, meaning no matter what resistance you screw onto them, they are going to put, or at least they are going to attempt to put out the very same voltage, okay? And they're going to try to do that over the course of the battery. This, a little bit different. Still not adjustable, okay, but the voltage this puts out will vary depending on the resistance that you have attached to it, because it is wattage regulated, not voltage regulated, okay? First of all, what is it? Kind of said that already. What it is a wattage regulated, non-adjustable electronic cigarette, PV, mod, whatever you want to call it. Where are you going to get it? These came directly to me from Innokin, okay? So I did what I always do. I go onto Google, I do a search. The first store that pops up, that's the one that I quote. And it is, again, My Vapor Store. And My Vapor Store does have this for $49.99, okay, for the kit. The kit you see right here. What comes in the kit? Let's take a look. Okay, so here is the box that the Coolfire 1 comes in. One of those kind of jewelish cases here that Innokin is kind of known for. You are going to get the device itself. You're going to get the iClear 30B. That's going to be a dual bottom coil tank right there for you. Let's see, I've got a box opened already. We can take a look here, and underneath this we will find a little manual for you too. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Coolfire 1 as far as what's included in the kit or the box. So right off the bat, the kit itself has me scratching my head just a little bit, because I have to think about who's going to buy something like this, all right? And you have to imagine that it's going to be a beginning vapor, okay? Somebody who wants something, or maybe an experienced vapor who wants just something super, super simple and happens to enjoy 8.5 watts, because that's what this is. As far as a beginning vapor is concerned, the kit leaves a little bit to be desired, because I would imagine that most beginning vapors are not going to have an 18350 battery lying around, or two 18350 batteries lying around, or two 18350 batteries lying around and a charger. Okay, so that's why the kit itself has me scratching my head a little bit, because of the target audience for the kit. Does that make sense? Maybe it does. All right, so that's kind of why I'm scratching my head over the kit. I think this would be a lot more attractive to a beginning vapor if it came with a couple of batteries, maybe a charger, okay, but then the price goes up. Yeah, I get it. And at least maybe an extra head for the included iClear 30B clearomizer, okay, maybe that. All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at the device from the top down, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. All right, so let's take a look at this bad boy from the top down. Here is the iClear 30B clearomizer. Okay, again, this is a dual bottom coil clearomizer tank. This is the drip tip that comes with it. I do notice that it does sit firmly in there, but in using it, it tends to wiggle its way out. All right, so I can just open this up for you. You fill it from the bottom. You only get to fill it up to that post, so there is some wasted space in there. And then you've got the atomizer head itself right here, very similar to the Kanger Pro Tank heads. I'm probably going to drip some e-liquid all over myself, but you can see the four wicks sticking out there. And it is a dual coil design, and it is a crossed design, not just one coil over the other. They are crossed over each other. So let's go ahead and put that back in. Obviously, that is how you are going to change your heads. Should you have more heads, this kit does not come with additional heads, just what comes in this one tank here. So let's go ahead and reassemble that. And we're ready to go. Put that aside for a second. And we'll take a look at the device itself. So on the top here, we do have a 510 connection. We have that connection flush with the outer ring. That's no issue because we do have one there and one there. We got some air holes in this this cap here, or this ring. We can remove that. That's going to expose the whole 510 connection. And you do see this one does have Ego cone threading on it as well. So if you wanted to use something like a T3, do I have something like a T3? Yes, I do. I have a T3. You can certainly use that with this device, just like that. See that? So moving down, we do have one of those kind of Innokin-ish logos right there. Anything else on this device? Yes, we do. We have Coolfire 1 written on the side of it. We have a single button. There's no menu, there's no screen. This is a wattage regulated device, okay? We're going to talk more about that in a second. So this button does, you do have the ability to turn the device on and off. So right now it is firing, and you'll notice that button is glowing green. So much like other Innokin products, as this battery starts to wear down, you are going to go from green to yellow to red, and then to a flashing red, and that's basically telling you, I will not fire anymore until you charge the battery for me. And you can turn this on and off with 3 clicks. So 1, 2, 3, you get that light show and it will no longer fire. 1, 2, 3, you get another light show, it scrolls through its colors, and then you can fire again. Alright, so down here at the bottom, we do have a bottom cap, and we do have some venting at the bottom here as well. If I were to unscrew this, threading is pretty much typical for a device like this. We do see a it is a spring-loaded brass contact down there, so I know you can't tell with my finger in there, but it is spring-loaded. I am pushing down on it. We do have a brass contact up there as well, and then brass contacts there too. All right, I'm pretty sure they're brass anyway. Now, when we do put our battery in, we are going to want to go button side up. Okay, and I have tried flat top batteries. They work just fine in here. And as soon as we make contact, we will get the light show to let you know that it's operating correctly. So there's that light show. But when you do put the battery in, it is in its off mode. So you do have to turn it on after you put the battery in. So 1, 2, 3. And now we're ready to vape. I think there's also a 10-second cutoff. This does have reverse battery protection. Let's go ahead and fire it and see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so maybe 15 seconds, anywhere between 10 and 15 seconds, but it definitely does have a cutoff, and that's what you're seeing right there. If you do try to fire this on a shorted device, let's get out the lazy box, let's short it out and take a look. All right, let's go put it into short mode. That button just comes on and it stays on for a little while, much like some of the other Innokin products out there. Eventually it'll clear itself, and that's basically telling you that you do have a short somewhere. All right, so how does it vape? You know what? I've been using this pretty much exclusively for a couple of days now, and I know I have to update the scroll on Taste Your Juice. I'm bad at that. And I have to update the charts on Taste Your Juice too. What else can I interrupt this review with? It hasn't been bad. It really hasn't. It's been actually a very satisfying vape for me. If you suck just right. That's important. Because this iClear 30B, what I've noticed is if you take a slower, not very forceful drag off of this thing, it's almost overpowered. At times, I felt like I was getting almost a slightly burnt taste, okay? As soon as you suck a little bit harder, it pulls more e-liquid into that chamber, and it works just fine, okay? So that is what I've noticed. Further proof that airflow controllers on these tanks will definitely benefit not only from the ease or tightness of your jaw, but pulling more or less e-liquid into the atomizer chamber, okay? So I'll go ahead and vape it for you again with the proper suckage. You can see it puts out a fair amount of vapor. It is very satisfying. What am I vaping today? This Jolly Rancher Watermelon from the Vape Store. I got some of these at VCC. And you know what? Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to vape some more. Okay, so what's the vape experience? And you know, sometimes I look at these devices on their own. Sometimes, in this case, because it's so packaged along with this clearomizer, it's obviously designed to be used with this clearomizer. But I do have numbers looking at different loads on it. That's how I vaped it. I vaped it how it came in this particular case. So when I say it produces a fair amount of vapor, let's be honest, it's the clearomizer that's producing the vapor. As far as this is concerned, a volt for the most part is a volt, right? Although this one does have a lot of pulse width modulation going on. I think the vapor throat hit and flavor, I think the vapor is good coming off of this thing. I think the throat hit is rock solid, and I think the flavor is okay. I think it's typical clearomizer flavor, all right? But again, this benefits from taking just the right draw to keep those wicks feeding. All right. My fear is, because I did not try Boba's Bounty in this one, but my fear is it's going to be even drier with a thicker liquid like that Boba's Bounty, which is 100% VG, maybe requiring you to suck even harder, okay, or, you know, some unpowered puffs just to get the juice into that chamber. The good news is it's never been gurgly on me. All right, so now, with that being said, let's take a look at the output signal and see how this thing does with other loads. All right, so the first thing we'll do is we'll take a look at the output signal. Very definitely displaying pulse width modulation, okay? I also noticed these little spiky things here. I'm not sure if that's bad for anything, but they are hitting the Cardo or the Clearo, whatever you have attached to it, at a higher voltage for just a little bit. I don't think it's really hurting anything, but I'm pointing it out because it's there. All right, so anyway, this is it firing a 1 ohm load. You can see coming out at about 3.1 volts, and then a 1.5 ohm load. You can see it coming out at about 3.64 volts. You'll notice the spikiness. Here is a 2.1 ohm load or something like that. Here you see it coming out at about 4.1 volts. And then when we get up to the 3.1 ohm load, we get a flat signal. The pulse width modulation goes away, and it hits around 5.1 volts. Okay, here's the nitty gritty. By the way, this does not appear to be a 33.3 chip enhanced because the frequency does change as I change the resistances. Okay, very easy. Only one simple chart for this particular device because it's not adjustable. It makes Phil's life a little bit easier on this one. It does not fire the 0.5 ohm load. What it does do is displays its short circuit protection behavior, but it does fire everything from the 1 ohm to the 3.1 ohm load. I calculated the green bars for the different resistance levels at 8.5 watts because that's what I know it's doing, and you can see it's relatively accurate with all of those different resistance levels. Okay, never off by more than 0.2 volts. Okay, but dead accurate here, drops 0.1 volt here, higher by 0.2 volts here. Nice and easy. All right, so other than that, what else can I tell you about vaping this? Oh, battery life. Okay, on this one, I got somewhere around 7 hours. Of course, your mileage is going to vary depending on how you vape. All right, so around 7 to 8 hours is what I got. Using it, it is a little bit slidey in the hand because it is a polished stainless. You know, I'm not a huge fan of that, but there are definitely a lot of bumps and ridges on there to keep it in your hand while you're using it. So we already talked about some of the protection. You do have short circuit protection. You do have a cutoff timer. You do have reverse battery protection. You do have undervolt protection. Speaking of undervolt protection, how does it do with wattage regulation in this case? Okay, I definitely noticed a difference in the vape quality as I got towards the end of the battery charge. As a matter of fact, I shot this video here. You can see the numbers start to drop, and it's still firing. Right after I did this test, it did flash, so I really was at the end of the battery life. But I could personally tell that the battery was ready to go. I kind of prefer with regulated devices to not even know, to have the device all of a sudden start flashing at me, or, you know, give me some kind of warning ahead of time that it's almost time to charge the battery. But I don't want to taste that in the vape. I just wanted to, okay, it's time, change the battery while maintaining the same vape quality throughout the battery charge. In this little segment here, you could actually see the signal kind of go wonky before it totally shuts down. Okay, so before we get to the winner of the contest and then the next contest, let's go ahead and have another vape, and we'll do some thumbs up, thumbs down. Kind of a tight draw on this too. Probably enhanced by the fact that I have to kind of suck on it a fair amount to get the liquid flowing in there. But it's been a satisfying vape for a couple of days. Okay, so let's do thumbs down on this one first. Thumbs down. It's a little bit slidey. That's number one. Number two, it only takes an 18350 battery, so you're not going to have a full day of vaping on this one. Kind of, to me anyway, a funky kit, only because I think this is geared towards a beginning vapor, yet the kit really isn't, because it doesn't include the batteries and the chargers that you and I might have laying around, but a new vapor may not. And of course, lack of adjustability. There are times in using this device I wanted a little bit more, couldn't get it. There are times when using this device that I wanted a little bit less, couldn't get it. You get what you get with this one. All right, so now let's talk about some thumbs up. Thumbs up on this one. It is a very, very simple kit to use. A very simple electronic cigarette to use, okay? You basically fill your tank, you screw it on, you put a battery in there, you turn it on, and off you go. Okay, so as far as simple, this one is a huge thumbs up. For those of you who are looking for a simple device, for those of you who don't want to mess with adjustments or twists or anything else like that, this may be right up your alley, especially since I think the voltage that you're getting out of this because of the 8.5 watt setting could be, for some of you, a little bit more satisfying than something like a standard voltage Ego, okay? But because it's not adjustable, for some of you, it's going to be too much. For some of you, it's not going to be enough. So you got to keep that in mind when you're talking about a product like this. I think the looks are decent on it. The button is definitely easy to find. It's got a nice tactile feel to it. You know when you push the button, you feel, and you hear the click in this case. I can click it for you. Okay, you can hear that. So I think overall, I mean, it gets a thumbs up. It didn't do anything wrong, okay? But with the number of adjustable devices that are out there, this is going to be tough for me to recommend, especially to a new vapor, since you're not getting batteries and a charger, right? I think if they could come in at the same price point with batteries and a charger, I think it would be a totally different ball game. But without, it's a tough one, okay? But all in all, I mean, performance and vape quality wise, you know, using the 30B that it comes with, you know, I think it's a decent little vape, as long as you can deal with all of the thumbs down that I mentioned just a little while ago. All right, the Innokin Cool Fire 1, okay? All right, so on to the contest winner. Who's going to win the MVP 2.0 Shine? This was a ladies-only contest. We're going to find out who won. What was the correct answer, by the way? Dimitri Pink, of course. Dimitri Pink. Demi Pink. No good. Dimitri Pink, all right? It's basically anytime I see a shade of pink or purple, I just call it Dimitri Pink because it makes me laugh, all right? So that's the correct answer, Dimitri Pink. Let's... give it away. All right, so here we are in random.org. It is a list randomizer. 255 of you got the answer correct. Let's see who won. Congratulations to Laura Elizabeth Buckley. Laura Elizabeth Buckley, congratulations. You just won the MVP Shine. All right, so congratulations to you, Laura. What you got to do is send an email to me at pbusardo@tasteyourjuice.com using the same email that you entered the contest in, so I can verify who you are. I'll get some information from you, and I will get this in the mail to you just as soon as I can. Let's go right into another contest, shall we? I kind of put together a bit of a prize pack for you on this one. First of all, a Cool Fire from Innokin. Thank you, Innokin, for supplying the giveaways, okay? So I got a Cool Fire for you. Thank you to Zample Box. I have another Zample Box to send your way, okay? Zample Box, a subscription-based e-liquid company. Check them out at zamplebox.com. Right? That's the website. Yes, zamplebox.com. All right, so I'm going to send you that too, so you're going to have a bunch of e-liquid to put into your new cool fire. And what else do I have here? I have a VCC t-shirt. Okay, so there's a little prize pack for you. What is the question? How are we going to win this one tonight? We're going old school on this one. Okay, we're going to go back, way back into time. And I'm going to ask you this little question right here. How many minutes before Dougie Fresh goes on? That's the question. How many minutes before Dougie Fresh goes on? Now, some of you are like, I know that answer. And some of you are like, what the hell is Phil talking about? You might have to hunt around for that one. Maybe you'll find it. Maybe you won't. I don't know. I didn't search it. So that's the question. How many minutes before Dougie Fresh goes on? Now, what you got to do is put the answer to that question in the subject line of an email and send that to contest@tasteyourjuice.com. Not PBusardo@tasteyourjuice.com. Oh no, contest@tasteyourjuice.com with the correct answer in the subject line. And let's see, it is right now Tuesday the 4th. We will let this go till the end of the day, Friday the 7th. So that is the last day that you have to get the correct answers for this contest in to contest@tasteyourjuice.com for the Cool Fire 1, for the Zample box, and for the t-shirt. Okay? All of it. All of it's coming your way. All right. Okay, I got to wrap this video up because I have to go coil my next review. So as always, you guys, I hope you found some of that information helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
Can I taste your juice?